Runs are equal to or greater than hits. And that is a phrase
Yeah.
that applies to baseball, applies to softball, and it applies to an efficient offense. And I can't tell you how many games that I've watched in my lifetime, still do to this day, where a team may score 5 runs, but they bang out 14 hits. It's about as inefficient of an offense, even if you win.
Hmm.
It's about as inefficient offensively as you can get, and it will catch up to you, baseball or softball, down the line. And it shows if you have, say, 5 runs, 14 hits, that you maybe didn't have quality type at bats. Maybe you came through in some opportune times, but you didn't have quality at bats. And again, runs are equal to or greater than hits. If that's the case, and it is, with runs, if you have score more runs, say 5 runs on, I don't know, 4 hits, that's an efficient inning and it's an efficient game. And it all starts with quality at bats, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, slugging matters.
Yeah.
When you against good pitching, you're not going to get 4 hits in an inning. It's not going to happen. Maybe you get a walk, maybe you get a base hit, maybe you get a sac fly, boom, maybe a double. That's going to be a big inning, when you get into conference play and you're facing aces. So, you're not going to get 14 hits a game very often, right? 2 hits in softball, that's 2 hits an inning, which seems like nothing, right? But it's a difficult game. The ball moves a lot. That's one of the things I found, that kind of differentiates, there's a few that differentiates baseball and softball, but the, pitcher to pitcher, the variance between up and down in baseball is usually about, a high fastball will drop about 2 degrees, 1 or 2 degrees, and maybe a sinker or a slider will drop, I don't know, about 8 degrees, 7, maybe 7. So you're only looking at a difference of like 6 degrees, right? Pitch plane. Well, in softball, we have a pitcher that actually goes vertical on a high pitch. She's at +1, which is crazy. And then other pitchers will go down 9 degrees. So now all of a sudden, and she's close to that. So now you have a 10-degree difference in pitch planes.
Yeah.
That's really, really hard to cover. Okay. So you have to be a little bit smarter and you have to have better plans and you have to know which pitch is more hittable. And then obviously you have to have worked on hitting those different pitches, because hitting something that's moving down at 9 degrees and hitting something that is at 0 degrees up, those are 2 completely different planes and 2 completely different postures. And it really starts kind of at the coconut. What did yogis say? 50% of the game is 90% mental or something like that. I don't remember.
I'm trying to think.
90% of the game is half mental, or I don't remember what he said, but you really have to be smart to be successful in the box. Doesn't mean you have to be SAT smart. You don't have to have a 1500 on your SAT, but you have to know the game and what pitchers are trying to do to you, because that takes players to the next level. In fact, we have a player on our team who's been around the program for a while, and she picked like 80% of pitches that our head coach calls the pitches. She's the pitching coach. She knew every pitch that was coming. She's like, I've been here 4 years. I know exactly what this coach tries to do to different hitters. And she just rattled them off, and it was awesome. But that's a player that pays attention and doesn't just go up to the plate and swing all the time. They're invested in the game, in their teammates. And when you can have players like that, it makes everybody a little bit better.